I don't think people stopped caring. I think we just got overwhelmed, to the point where we couldn't anymore. Because if you really think about it, we're exposed to more information now than any generation before us. Not just information, but constant, emotionally heavy information. Bad news, tragedy, conflict, every single day. And it never really stops. You wake up, check your phone, and within minutes you've already seen something negative, something serious, something that realistically should affect you. But instead, you just scroll past it. And that feels wrong, because there was a time when things like that would have shocked you, stayed on your mind, made you stop and think. Now, it's just another post, another headline, another thing in the feed. And I don't think that's because people suddenly became heartless. It's because the volume is too high. When everything is important, nothing feels important. Your brain can't process it all, so it starts filtering things out. Not consciously, but as a way to protect itself. Because if you actually tried to care about everything you see, you'd burn out almost instantly. So instead, you adapt. You become a little more numb, a little more detached. And over time, that becomes your default. You see something bad, and instead of reacting, you just keep scrolling. Not because you don't care, but because you don't have the capacity to care anymore. And social media makes this worse, because it doesn't just show you reality, it compresses it. Everything is reduced to short clips, quick posts, fast headlines. So serious things start to feel small, temporary, disposable. You see something tragic, and 2 posts later, it's a meme. Then something entertaining. Then something completely unrelated. And your brain just keeps switching, over and over again, until everything starts to blur together. Nothing sticks, nothing lasts, and eventually, nothing really hits the same. So now you have people living in a world where everything is happening all at once, but it doesn't feel real. And that's where the disconnect comes from. It's not that people don't care, it's that caring became too exhausting. Because caring requires attention, energy, time, and those are the exact things that are constantly being drained. So instead of engaging with what's happening, people cope. They distract themselves. More content, more scrolling, more noise, anything to avoid sitting with that feeling. Because when you do stop, when you actually sit in silence for a moment, it all hits at once. How much is going on? How little control you have? How overwhelming everything feels? And most people don't want to deal with that. So they don't. They go back to scrolling, back to consuming, back to staying distracted. And over time, that becomes normal. Not reacting, not feeling as much, not caring the way you used to. But that doesn't mean nothing matters. And it doesn't mean you've lost the ability to care. It just means your attention has been stretched too thin. And maybe the problem isn't that the world became less meaningful, but that we're constantly pulled away before anything can feel meaningful at all. Because caring requires time. It requires focus. It requires stillness. And those are the exact things that are hardest to find right now. So instead of asking, why does nobody care anymore? Maybe the better question is, when was the last time we actually had the space to?